Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 16 is entitled as Devasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga, the yoga of the divine and demonic nature. Sloka 4, Part 1. Dambho darpo bhimānaś krodhaḥ pāruṣyam ajñānaṁ cābhijātasya pārtha sampadam āsurīm. In the last 3 chapters, we learned about Prakriti, Jivatma and Paramatma. It is only through the detachment towards the Prakriti and attachment towards the Supreme Lord one can be freed from this material nature. In order to explain this further, Krishna in this chapter classifies the living entity, the people, into 2 classes. One who abide the Shastras, the Vedas, and the one who doesn't, that is, the lawbreakers. The one who abides are referred as Devas, and the one who are lawbreakers are referred as Asuras. How to identify them by their qualities has been mentioned in this chapter 16. Sloka 1, 2 and 3 gives 26 qualities of those who are referred as divine. Devas, their sampat, their wealth. And in Sloka 4, that is discussion for this session, list out the wealth of Asuras, the demonic natured ones. Let's see the meaning of the sloka. Pārtha, O son of Pṛthā, dambho, pride. This pride is pretentious practice of dharma to create an image of righteousness. Darpo, arrogance. Arrogance that arises from pleasures of sense objects, depriving one's ability to discriminate what is right and what is wrong. Abhimānaś. Abhimānaś or atimānaś is opposite of natimānaś that we saw in the previous set of slokas. It is self-conceit about one's wealth, scholarship, lineage, etc. Cha and krodhaḥ, which is opposite of akrodhaḥ, that is the change of our emotion that harms someone. Pāruṣyam, harshness. We saw previously mardhavam, gentleness. Over here, pāruṣyam is opposite of that, being rude, which frightens the good people. Being harsh towards evil people is not considered pāruṣyam. Ajñānaṁ, ignorance, that is lack of knowledge. Ignorance about the absolute truth and the lower orders. Parattattva, aparattattva, lack of differentiating parattattva and aparattattva is ajñānaṁ. Āsurīm sampadam, of the demonic nature, the qualities, the wealth, cābhijātasya, of one who is born of. Translation: pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature, O son of Pṛthā. So there are 6 qualities has been mentioned to identify the demonic natured ones. In other words, these are considered the royal road to hell. Let's see one at a time. The first one, dambho. the demoniac wanted to make a show of religion, although they do not follow the principles. Dambha means performing deeds of righteousness or practicing dharma, not for satisfying the Supreme Lord by following His instruction, but to earn a reputation for being a righteous person. For example, someone chanting the names of the Lord, not for satisfying the Lord, but to make a show of their devotion to others. People serving at the temple, doing some services, but to make a show out of it. They take up services or does services only where they can be recognized. People can watch their services, acts, so they can be considered as a great person. They do any of these righteous deeds for name, fame, and prestige. If we see the great souls, Vedavyasa, Valmiki, they did not compose so many of this wonderful literature for any name or fame. They did this for the mankind, to benefit the mankind, not expecting anything in return. Srila Prabhupada did not translate so many books day and night without sleeping, and he did not travel to the West and various countries for name and fame. His idea was to help the humanity, to assist and guide them to cut off this samsara tree. He did all this not that he wants to become the world acharya. That was not his intention. Similarly, that is not the intention of the great acharyas. We, the follower of such great acharyas, must be very careful when we do our devotional service not to become dambha, doing things for name and fame, but to simply please the Supreme Lord and His devotees. We must give up the mentality of what's in it for me, expecting some written material benefits by taking up or doing some devotional service. If we start doing the righteous deeds in that mentality, the outcome of it is going to be serious. Then one start failing to be submissive to spiritual authority. One will lose the wonderful quality of being humble. Humility is lost. Amanittum, adambittum, ahimsa, shantir, arjavam. This adambitvam, dambha, is the same that we saw in the 13th chapter. Over there, it is adambitvam, which is opposite of dambha, not practicing the religiosity, that is the devotional service for spreading one's name and glories, but practicing them to please the Supreme Lord by following the Shastra as a service to the Lord. The person whose demonic nature performs religiosity as an activity, so their pictures are out in the media, their names are spoken everywhere. They try to do things in such a way, their photos, videos, names, etc. are all spread everywhere like a virus, so that they can get name and fame. They fail to understand that they are competing with the Lord. In the name of religion, they try to be the limelight. rather than making Krishna, the Lord, to be the center of focus. They want to show others how advanced they are, how great devotee he is or she is, by forgetting the purpose to whom the service is being done. When this continues, they become more offensive to others. Therefore, one should be very careful not to get into this dangerous path of wanting to be famous, wanting to have good name, wanting to maintain a prestige. Rather, one should be very grateful for getting an opportunity to do devotional service. One must perform such righteous deeds in a humble state of mind and be very careful not to commit any offenses to anyone, especially to the devotees. So, dambho means performing deeds of righteousness, that is practicing dharma, not out of the desire to abide to what Krishna, the Supreme Lord, has laid out, but to earn a reputation for being a righteous person. Dambho. The next is darpo, arrogance, that we will learn in our next session. Namaste. Hare Krishna.